Hello, everybody. This is Teacher Levy. Today, I'll be making another slow English video. I have made a bunch of other, a bunch means a lot of other videos like this. You can go find them on my channel if you would like. Keep in mind, these videos are designed for intermediate or advanced level English learners. We are focused on improving pronunciation and listening comprehension in these videos. That's why we focus on words like intermediate instead of intermediate. We can practice saying intermediate. I will also mention that I have opened up teaching opportunities or teaching lessons for one-on-one classes. If you would like to sign up, you can find the link in the description or on my About page on YouTube, where I have my other links. In this video, I will go around or look around and find different plants or herbs. Notice herbs is written or written. It is written with an H, but we don't say herbs, we say herbs. We'll get different plants and herbs. For example, this is a walnut tree. Notice walnut. We can say walnut, a walnut tree. And I'll pick, notice I'll, I'll pick some leaves from the tree and I'll put them in the basket. This is a basket. So we want to pick the younger leaves, the more fresh looking leaves. For example, I will pick this this group of leaves because I wanted to pick one, but I ripped off 5. I will put them, notice put, we can say put, I will put them separately into the basket. So also, I will try to educate you on some benefits. Notice educate. We can say educate you on some health benefits or what you can use these walnut leaves. Notice 1 leaf or 2 leaves. What you can use these leaves for. They are great or they are great against eye irritation. If something is bothering your eye, perhaps something got into your eye, or it is red, you have some problem, you can make an infusion. An infusion is when you soak these leaves in water and then you can apply the water. To apply the water is to put the water onto something. You can apply the water onto your eye and it will help with your eye irritation. So this herb or plant series, notice plant, we can say plant. A video series will be 2 parts. This part will pick the leaves, the plants, the herbs, and the second part will show in the video making tea or an infusion from these leaves. Some of the benefits from making tea from the walnut leaves is it helps with blood purification. To purify is to make something cleaner, or to make something clean is to purify. So these in a tea help with blood purification. Notice purification. Of course, to make tea from these leaves, you will have to dry them. So I will show the process later. Notice later. We can say later in the video. These in a tea are also good for treating diarrhea, and they're good for your digestion. Notice digestion. So I am looking for the other plants. I have a short list. Notice short. We can say short. A short list, and somewhere along this path, notice along this path, I should find a couple more that I can show in the video. So on my path, I have actually gone off the beaten path. I have talked about that in a previous video. To go off, or to get off the beaten path, is to leave the common path you're walking on. So I am in the weeds. These are weeds. And I found another plant that I was looking for. This is called yarrow, and it has a white flower. You can see this is the plant that I wanted to find. There's only a few, and these are different from this. Is a different plant. This is yarrow, or the British people might say yarrow. So I need both hands. We'll take the head and the stem. We'll take the head and the stem. I should have brought scissors. Scissors are not pronounced skizzers, but scissors. Should have brought scissors to cut the stems, but that's okay. We can take a couple to go, and we can rip them off by the stem. So I will walk downhill. Notice this is downhill. If I walk up, that is uphill. So I'll walk downhill. I want to share the benefits of yarrow. If you make a tea, again, you dry the plant. Notice I kept, to keep is kept. I kept the leaves when I plucked or picked off this plant. The leaves are also valuable. And when you make tea from this, you can have benefits if you have a sore throat. A sore throat is when your throat hurts. That is a sore throat. Also, if you have an upset stomach, if your stomach hurts, you can say, I have an upset stomach. Notice upset. We can say upset. I have an upset stomach. Also, added to your bath, if you are taking a bath, you can put some of this plant in the water. It will help relieve muscle pain. To relieve is to make it go away, or to help fix your muscle pain. Notice pain, help fix your muscle pain. So after some walking, I have found some nettles. These are called nettles or stinging nettles. Nettles, we can say nettles or stinging nettles. I found a clipper as well, or I got, notice I got a clipper as well. So I can use this to cut some stems from these nettles. This is the same as this in the back. So we'll get a few pieces and put them in the basket like this. So again, we'll get some fresh nettles and we'll dry them out. To dry out is to make them dry. We will dry them out and make tea. Nettle tea is good for joint pain. Your joints are your elbows or in your wrist or your knees. You have joints. It is good for relieving joint. Notice joint. We can say joint pain as well as eczema. Eczema is a skin condition. You can look at pictures if you want. I will not put a picture here because it is not very pleasant. Notice pleasant instead of pleasant. Pleasant is okay. We can understand you, but we can practice saying pleasant to look at. So it is also sometimes eaten. Notice eaten. We can say eaten as a cooked vegetable like spinach, for example. A fun fact, I'll put this here. A fun fact is a fact that is fun, maybe random. You can say, I have a fun fact. A fun fact about nettles is that they are the highest source of protein from wild plants in the US. That is quite surprising to hear. I was surprised as well when I first heard about that. They are also antioxidants, or they have antioxidant effects. They are good against inflammation or in general to boost your immune system, to defend yourself against sickness or getting different diseases in general. It's good to boost your immune system. Notice to improve your immune system, we can say boost, to boost your immune system. So this is a dehydrator, a solar powered dehydrator. So it uses, notice we can say it uses the heat from the sun to help dry the herbs or plants, leaves that you've put on these racks. It has these racks, we can call these racks, and it has a stainless steel mesh. This is metal. We can say metal, or we can practice saying metal. A metal mesh that is stainless steel. Stainless steel doesn't get rusty. Stainless steel. So I will finish the gathering for today because the sun is setting. Notice the sun is setting when the sun is going down during nighttime. We can say the sun is setting, so I will put the plants in here, and perhaps I will gather more next time. There were elderberries also, which I wanted or wanted to show, but I didn't. So in part two, we'll take out the plants and make some tea or some infusions with them. So I will place the plants on the racks. I have pulled out, notice pulled out 3 racks. First, I'll do the stinging nettle. I'll put them on the bottom. Notice bottom. We can say bottom rack. They are stinging my hands as I'm placing them there. So I'll put them on the rack. So also there is information that I heard which says that it is better to dry or dehydrate these plants in a dark area. For some reason, the sunlight affects them, so they prefer to have these dry and dark environments. Notice environment or dark areas like this. Once we close the doors, will be fully dark inside. Even when the sun is out, it will be almost completely dark. And we have this, again, metal mesh here. These are holes just to get some air into the box, but there's metal meshing that goes right behind the holes, so no bugs or no insects will get into this area. So this is the solar component or solar part. It looks like a solar panel, but notice but it has black pipes on the inside which lead from the bottom into the wooden box up here, and it sends the warm air into the box and it keeps it hot throughout the day. I'm not an expert. I did not build it, but that is my understanding of roughly how it works. Roughly, we can say for about or around. If we say it is roughly $15, it is around $15. Or if we say I roughly understand how this works, I mostly understand how this works, or I kind of understand how this works. So I hope you found this video helpful. Perhaps you learned new vocabulary, or it was beneficial for your listening comprehension. If you have tips or feedback or suggestions, feel free to leave them in the comments, and I'll be doing a part 2 hopefully soon of the finished drying plants, and we'll do a video of what we can do from these. And if you support these videos, feel free to like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Thank you, and bye-bye.